All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and you know who it is to my right here, Jason Cameron, joining us to do a nice weekend wrap-up of sports as we head into the Thanksgiving week. Lots of football on the docket. We're going to talk tons of NFL today. And how was your weekend behind us?
The weekend was good. It was good. I got some work in that needed to get done. I saw my acupuncturist so she could fix my body because she's very adept at doing that. And I was able to visit with some friends that I hadn't seen in a while. So it was a good weekend.
Oh, that's good to hear. Nice. Yeah, I kind of felt like I was time traveling a little bit this weekend. I was driving along and I looked over and the gas station said 168.9, and I was thinking, am I back in 2020? Like it's been a while since it's been down at this level. I complained probably about 2 months ago how brutal it was. It was like 230 or something ridiculous, and now finally we're back to a bit of a reasonable gas price.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Actually, my coworker took a picture and sent it to me in the morning. And so basically saying, get that gas today, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we're at, though. That's where we're at. That is literally where we're at when it comes to gas. When it comes down that low, your friends or your coworkers will take a picture and say, get your gas today.
Yeah. Yeah. Give you the warning, like, holy shit. Yeah. I've always wanted to be on a site that gave me that warning, gives me like, a couple days from now, it's going up, so fill up now, or it's going down, so wait, but I've just never been privy to that, and all of a sudden driving by going, oh, what the hell? And just lately it's just been ridiculous how high it is, but finally it came down. I don't know why, but I'm very happy because we do a lot of driving, and it's nice when it's not costing me an arm and a leg every time.
Oh yeah, we definitely do a lot of driving, and it is nice when it doesn't cost you, like you just said, an arm or a leg, or both your arms, both your legs, and maybe your head. So
yeah, that was a welcome sight. Another great thing that happened today is we got sent home early. That's a rare thing with our business. Usually it's a 12-hour day, and a lot of people complained because they're like, oh, we're only getting paid 8 hours. What the hell? That sucks. This is horrible. Everybody complained, but I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, this is good. Nice to be able to get home early on a Monday, get ready for this, and watch a bit of the Monday Night Football, watch some basketball. It was a fun afternoon.
Yeah, well, you know what? I get it. I understand. I would just take that and be like, all right, I'm good. Later.
Yeah.
Now was that like across the board for like the whole production? They just
everybody, yeah. They actually had to cancel shooting today. One of the main actors that was going to be in the scene today came down sick, and I don't think it was COVID, but not able to come in to do the shooting today. So they decided they would save some money and send everybody in the production home early. And I think it's just today, but I guess we'll see tomorrow. It's always a surprise with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's funny. It's always funny to me, like just how our industry and how our work works, because it only takes one dude or one lady to not be there. And it's like, well, I guess we're good.
Yeah.
Everybody go home.
Yeah. I guess they couldn't shift and change the schedule. We have a couple of days on location this week, one day at Riverview and one day at a place called Sharky's, which is out in Ladner. And I guess we weren't ready for those sets quite yet. We weren't ready to shoot them, so they were going to shoot in the studio, couldn't do it. This show is really mostly kids, so it was one of the kids, I guess, that came down sick, and so I guess they're going to have to, if they are continuing to be sick, I guess I'll have to do some jogging and just figure out the change in schedule. But it was kind of a surprise to hear that today, and know that they decided just okay, let's go home, everybody. Nothing to do here, so that was it.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising. And I forgot that your particular show, there is a lot of like youth actors in it.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised too that the director didn't say, well, you're just gonna have to man up. You should have to show up.
Yeah,
It's called
right.
growing up.
That would have been funny. Yeah, that would have been great. I wasn't there. I wasn't privy to the conversation, but I wish I was. If it was, that was the case, that would have been amazing. A couple weeks ago, we had a shooting day canceled, and unfortunately, I wasn't right there when they made the call. And I heard that all of my colleagues ended up getting all the catering food. All the caterers are just like, hey, grab a box, come over, grab as much food as you want, and everybody was just loading up on food, and I really missed out. It was like a knife to the heart hearing that. I didn't get any of that food, but it was good. It didn't go right in the garbage. It didn't go to waste.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But somebody should have texted you and said, drop what you're doing. It's not that important. Food. Come get it.
I know everybody knows how important food is for me. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought I would have got a text for sure.
But hey, everybody knows that about me. They know that I probably go to the extent of, well, I'm just gonna steal yours. I'm gonna steal everybody in my department's food. All my coworkers gone.
Yeah, I never even considered that. I should have opened up the fridge. We have a staff fridge. I should have opened up the fridge and tried to like yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And yeah, I might have been hated for doing that, but it would have been nice, nice few days with all that food.
Sometimes sacrifices must be made by your coworkers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Share the wealth. Yeah. Yeah, it was another day. Or I thought about that when I heard the call today. I thought, oh, should I just race over to the studio and bring some boxes and load up? I think it got canceled early enough where they never cooked up all the food. So
okay, there you go. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it didn't work out in my favor this time either. Yeah.
Next time. Hopefully next time.
Yeah. The weekend was good for us. I tried to find some good entertainment on the weekends. Friday night, I heard about this concert that was playing in Kerrisdale. It was called a candlelight concert that was going to play ABBA songs. And there was a really nice video that I saw that was put out, and it talked about these great shows that they're putting on. And so I looked, and the tickets were like 60 in the front, 50, 40, 30. And there wasn't a big place. So I thought, I'll just pay the 30, $70 for 2 tickets with taxes and everything. And we'll go check it out and see if it's something that we like. And they're putting on a lot of shows over the next month or so. And I thought, there was quite a few that looked kind of cool and good. And I went there and I was really disappointed. It was 4 musicians. They were playing stringed instruments, and they were playing the songs, but no singing, no singer at all. And I was thinking, like, who dropped the ball here? Like, you couldn't have just hired a singer to just get everybody in the mood. People would have probably sang and really got into it. I think it would have been an awesome night if they could have just had a singer, but it was just violins and a bass and string instruments playing these songs. And, some of the most popular ones, you could definitely tell what the song was, but some of the other ones, it was a little challenging. And I'm just sitting there, I'm thinking, man, I'm happy I got a nap in before this, because I'd be dead if not. No interaction. And, people were clapping, but I just thought it was not a great performance. I would have preferred having a singer for sure.
Of course, because like, how often are you in your car where you go, I'm just gonna hit this instrumental. I love this. I love this song, especially when they don't have words with it. It's just the instrumental. Yeah. So good. Like, no, man, nobody does that. Nobody does that.
That's
Nobody.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's yeah, it was a weird deal. They came up to the microphone a couple times and introduced the song they said that they were going to play next. They did say near the end that some of the performances will have a singer, but I wish they would have put a disclaimer on the tickets or on the screen when I bought them that this performance will not have a singer, because yeah, no, instrumentals are okay for, a song or two, but the whole entire night, no, it's just that wasn't for me.
No, because like you kind of go to these things to hear music with words
Yeah,
attached to the music. That's what you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On Saturday night we decided to go to a movie, and it was one of the slowest movies that I've ever seen. I would say that it was pretty good movie, but if you want action, do not go to this one. It's the movie's called The Banshees of Inisherin. Colin Farrell is the main actor, and it was slow, 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 slow. So I'm also happy that I napped before. I had plenty of rest, because I'm doomed when I go to things and they're slow and they're non-interactive. I'm usually asleep for sure, but I made it through this one. I don't know what I would give it, maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10, or maybe even an 8, but man, like, I don't think you would have liked it. I don't think most of my friends would get into it. It was just a really, really slow, slow, slow movie.
So basically, what you're saying is I would be snoring. I would
Yeah.
just be fast asleep and like, yeah, and just out cold, out
Yeah.
cold.
I think you would have left, or you would have been sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of too bad that the two things that I decided to do out and about and get some entertainment in both turned to be pretty big snoozers. Spent some money that I'll never get back, and really kind of a snooze fest weekend, but awesome amount of sports as usual. A lot of great sports to watch, and I need to get out of the house here and there. I really wish I would have picked a couple of little more lively events.
Yeah, I know, because Saturday was a beautiful day to be out of the house.
Yeah.
Like Saturday during the day. That's why I was super happy that it worked out that I was able to see my friends over in
Nice.
Steve's. I was
Nice.
like, it was just nice to be out of the house because it was just such a nice day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. There was a lot of we're gonna obviously get into NFL talk, UFC, and some NBA, but a lot of other sports on the weekend. The World Cup of Soccer started yesterday. There was a game between the host nation Qatar against Ecuador, and Qatar lost their first game, and that's the first time in the history of the World Cup that a host nation lost the first game of the tournament. They think that it's probably the worst team that's ever qualified for the World Cup, and the host nation always gets an entry. And so that was kind of a weird beginning. There's a lot of complaints about it. Try to guess how many people they think died building these soccer stadiums for this tournament. Just try to take a wild guess on how many migrant workers they think died building these stadiums. I think there's about 8 stadiums.
Hold on a second. People died?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Usually you don't have to, put your life on the line just to build buildings. All right. I'm still shocked at that. All right. Over under 500.
Way more than that.
Wait, what? What? Get to, okay. 5,000?
More than that. 6,500 people are estimated to have died building these stadiums for the World Cup for people to come and enjoy. Can you believe this? 6,500 estimated died building these stadiums.
I'm okay. You can see by my face. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. Wow.
So am I. Like I just think I can't even believe that they would just keep going on. Like they would be like, after like a couple guys die anywhere around here, they'd be like, okay, stop construction.
That's good. Yeah.
Let's figure this out. But we've lost a few hundred. Oh, lost a few thousand. Oh, it's up to 4, 5, 6,000. Yeah, just keep going forward, guys. Yeah, push a little harder. Like, holy crap. Like, one of the reasons why most people did not want this tournament here was because of the extreme temperatures, brutal, heat, and just their lack of human rights there, that they could allow this many people to die just for this fun 1 month tournament. It's crazy.
Okay. And also too, you know a little bit more about this than I do, so you correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that they spent the most amount of money on this World Cup than possibly all of them combined. The little country of Qatar or something like that.
Yeah,
Was it something ridiculous like that?
I've heard something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Which is, to me, I'm just like, well, what are you talking? Wait, what? Like, how could you spend that much money? You will never recoup that.
No,
that is never going to happen. Like,
no,
never.
A lot of these countries like this have such bad reputations worldwide that they think that if they put on these massive events and they can attract people to see their country for the first time, see their country in all its glory at the height of exciting event like this, the world's view might change for how they run their country, what they have there. And the country is beautiful. There's a lot of really amazing scenery that's coming out of this place. But the media are really hammering them on, a lot of the problems that they have in this country. And the cost is just, it's insane. It's astronomical. They are, their natural resources allow them to be one of the world's richest countries, even though they are very, very quite small. But they're calling it these days sport washing, and a lot of these countries are trying to change the world view of what they do, how they are. I'm not sure if it's going to, but yeah, they've spent massive amount of money, billions and billions of dollars on security, building all these stadiums. There's talk I heard the last few days, like, what are they going to do with these stadiums once this 1 month tournament's gone? Like, they're just gonna start growing moss on them. Nobody's gonna use them ever again, probably. It's pretty crazy, man. This is one of the most controversial places to hold the games, and I don't know if at the end of it we're gonna be happy that it happened there or not, but it's taken place, and I'm watching it. I love the World Cup of Soccer, a phenomenal tournament and always amazing to watch, but very bizarre start to it so far.
And also, too, let's be honest, I don't see how the world view of Qatar is going to be improved upon if you find out that, we're getting close to 7,000 people died building these stadiums. That's not good. That's not good. Because usually nobody should die when you build something.
Yeah.
Nobody. Not one person. Just no one.
It's insane, man. Absolutely insane. Super crazy. I will talk a little bit about some of the scores today. England had their first match and they won 6-2 over Iran today. That was a huge result for them. The Netherlands beat Senegal 2-0. And the Americans and Wales tied at 1-1 in this tournament. Tomorrow we've got games, and the games are starting 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m., and 11 a.m. So I don't think, Jason, you're going to be watching very many of these. So enjoy your sleep. A lot of us World Cup guys will be waking up super early. I woke up really early and watched that England game this morning, but the games that start early tomorrow morning, Argentina, Saudi Arabia at 2, Denmark, Tunisia at 5, Mexico, Poland at 8, and France and Australia at 11. Can't wait for that France-Australia game. France is one of the odds-on favorites to win, along with Brazil. And Australia, I've got lots of Australian family, so I'm going to be cheering them on big time. Canada plays Wednesday, first game against Belgium. It's an 11 a.m. start. I've heard that possibly schools will be stopping their curriculum, allowing the kids to be watching the games. We have a theater here in Kitsilano, the Hollywood Theater. They're going to have all the Canada games there, as well as England games. Completely sold out every single ticket that they have there. And it's the World Cup fever is starting to spread. We'll see how Canada does. They're in a tough group, but I'm really pretty excited. First time in 36 years Canada has qualified for this tournament. So we got to cheer on our boys, and I think we got a legitimate shot to win a couple games. So keep your fingers crossed and put on your maple leaf and cheer them on. It'd be nice to see them advance past this group stage and maybe shock some of the world powers. We are ranked about 41st in the world. Only 32 teams make the World Cup, so kind of amazing that we even made it.
Yeah, definitely. And potentially this could be our best showing that we've ever had. Yeah. Because I would say this is by far and away the strongest team we've ever had.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is for sure. And I'm excited. I can't wait. Been talking a lot about it to a lot of my friends that are soccer fans. And the World Cup is really fun to get into, especially as the tournament starts winding down and you're just getting the elite of the elite, when only 32 countries out of the entire world make it, and it's only every 4 years. You're really seeing the best of the best, and it's an absolutely amazing tournament that I always have a great time at every 4 years. Grey Cup was here yesterday in Canada. The two-time defending champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers got upset by the Toronto Argonauts, and it was a great season, great playoffs, and a good Grey Cup game. There was 2 field goals blocked in the final 2 minutes to have a really crazy ending, one of the craziest endings. And but as I said, Toronto upset the two-time defending champions. They weren't able to get their three-peat. But did you see any highlights? Did you watch any of that game, Jason?
I didn't know it was on. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I was talking with one of my coworkers today, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and then the Grey Cup was on, and blah blah blah." And who played? I didn't know. But what I will say is this: it's unfortunate that our quarterback, our stud quarterback, got injured the way he did. Yeah. Because you could easily say that we should have been there in the final.
Sure. Yeah. Did the CFL lose you at any point, at some point, for any reason? Were you ever a Grey Cup guy? Did you ever get together with some friends and watch the Grey Cups over the years?
When I was younger, like when I was like a kid, I would say more like preteens. Oh, okay. I was really big into CFL and stuff like that. But then once I became I got in my teens and then my young adult, it was always just NFL. And I know why I chose the NFL, because they just had superior skill and talent. Right. And then that's where my eyes were gravitated towards. That's where my attention gravitated towards, because those were the superior athletes. And I'm going to be honest, for any sport, I usually gravitate towards where the superior athletes are.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Seems like most people do. I'm glad that we still have this league in Canada. It's run quite poorly, and there's been a lot of issues and problems, but I hope they continue to have this league. And I think if I just wish there was a bit more money in it, so we would attract a bit higher talent, and we'd be able to see some elite level players, because football is just absolutely massive in the US.
Oh yeah.
High school super attended on Fridays, college massive on Saturdays, and the NFL obviously it's got Sunday and Monday and even Thursday now. So yeah, football's just so huge. I'm just really surprised that it's not bigger here across the line.
Yeah, but at least the good thing is like we do have something. And like for those guys that couldn't make it into the NFL, then they have an opportunity to still play the sport that they love in a league that's just a lower tier, slightly lower tier. And also too, they have the chance to work their way back to the NFL if they play well.
That's true, yeah. Well, Nathan Rourke, you mentioned him earlier, BC Lions quarterback. Supposedly he's got 8 workouts scheduled for NFL teams over the next week or two. And what I heard was 22 teams out of the 32 teams reached out to show some interest in him. But he's narrowed it down to 8, where he thinks he has a legitimate shot to actually get on the field. And good luck on him. Good luck to him. And let's hope they can see what we saw this year when he was healthy. He was just an elite quarterback, and a really fun guy to watch play the game.
Yeah, he is elite, and I'm just glad to hear that he's getting an opportunity, getting a chance.
Yeah. He said he won't just sign just to be a backup guy holding a clipboard. He really wants to get a legitimate shot to be a backup. We see every week NFL quarterbacks get hurt. A lot of backups do play every season in the NFL. So if he gets the right situation, we might see him on the field even this year.
Yeah, if he gets the right situation, like for instance, who was the dud? I had a dud quarterback for this week. Zach Wilson.
Oh Jesus!
That's got to be one of the worst things I've ever. Like I was just like, does he know what he's doing? Does he know?
Yeah.
It was awful,
yeah. He was one of the zeros of the week for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, he was overmatched, and they had some horrifically bad offensive numbers there. Man, that game was unbelievable. 3-3 down to like 20 seconds left, where they returned the punt for a touchdown. Yeah, that was insane. But yeah, that must have almost killed Robert Saleh to see that offense go out there and look that pathetic.
No, it was horrible, man. Like I'm just like going like, what are they doing? Did they just, what? Like, if you're gonna play like that, like you're gonna play that bad, just throw in the towel, man. Just call it at halftime. It's like, this is not happening today.
Yeah, like, everybody go home. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we've given up. We can't do this yet. Give us another week or two, because we don't got it. I heard Salah's press conference after, and he just said, we just played like dog shit. It was just so brutal. People were really baiting him, like saying, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna, you're gonna get rid of this QB and put in your backup? And he wasn't taking any of the bait. But now, today it came out that he's not sure who he's gonna go with quarterback this coming week. So maybe he realized, oh man, I'm really tying myself to the wrong horse at this moment. I think Zach Wilson needs a little, I don't know what he needs, but geez, that effort was so bad. Oh man, that was painful. I watched a little bit of that game, but I was just like, this is so brutal that I cannot subject myself to any more of this. And I watched some of the other games.
Yeah, of course. And that was the right call. And also too, with that being said, as we were just talking about our Mr. Nathan Rourke, that should definitely be a team you should be working out.
Yeah.
That should be a team that should have most certainly expressed interest, because what we got going on here, clearly it's not working.
Yeah, no, it's not working there at all. So we might see Nathan Rourke suiting up for the New York Jets coming weeks. Let's keep our ears and eyes out, and hopefully gets a legitimate shot. It'd be fun to watch. Okay. We got a Monday nighter tonight, interdivisional NFC West game between the 49ers and the Cardinals. And the 49ers just scored a touchdown. They're up 23-10 with a kick to come. I think that was Deebo Samuel that just punched it in. This game is from Mexico. It is 17 years ago. In October, the NFL had their very first international regular season game in Mexico, same stadium, Aztec Stadium, 103,000 plus fans attended. There have been, I think, 43 games internationally ever since. And this is a rematch of that very first game in Mexico between the Niners and the Cardinals. And it was pretty cool to see a lot of, I love seeing these games. I love seeing these international games. Pretty cool to see a lot of footage from back then. And also, the amount of people that came tonight that were dressed up in mostly Niners uniforms, to be honest. But it's been a pretty good game so far. The Niners just took a 2-touchdown lead, but man, they're looking good. Samuel has a touchdown. Kittle has a TD. Ayuk has a TD. And Cardinals are banged up. Kyler Murray's not playing. Rondale Moore got hurt earlier in this game and isn't playing. Hollywood Brown didn't get a chance to come back in this one. So Niners were favored by 9.5 going into this one, and it looks like they're in pretty good control right now.
And also too, like when they added, as far as I'm concerned, when they added Christian McCaffrey, they got one of the most dangerous offensive now, period, in the NFL. Like just period. They got playmakers all over the place on that offensive side of the ball. And as long as Garoppolo can mitigate turnovers, keep that down to a minimum, oh man, the Niners are going to be tough to beat.
Oh yeah. The team has so many weapons. I mentioned them: Deebo, Kittle, McCaffrey, Ayuk, and man, I'm blown away at how many weapons this team has. And Garoppolo just has to manage the game, not get the turnovers, and this team should be good. This team since 2017 is 35-17 with Jimmy G behind the helm, and 9-29 with all other quarterbacks that have suited up. So he's the guy in place. He knows how to manage this team and get the victories.
Yeah, like that's one thing that people forget. The guy can win. He can win. Like he's a winner, and he wins playoff games too as well. Yeah. As much as people like to rag on him, he continues to keep winning.
Yeah. So they've been to the NFC Championship a couple times under his helm and reached the Super Bowl. So I don't know why they've given up on him many times, but this team is stacked now. Bringing in McCaffrey was massive, great move by them. And look out, this team's scary. I saw that McCaffrey is the only player in NFL history to average 50 yards rushing and 50 yards receiving every single game of his career. So that's pretty incredible. I love watching DeAndre Hopkins. Watched him again tonight have some pretty spectacular catches. Since he came back from the 6-game suspension for PEDs, he has the most targets and the most catches in the NFL. And another night tonight, he's looking great. They've got Colt McCoy behind the bench, longtime veterans, 36 years, never really has been, the number one guy all season long, but, definitely has tons of experience. Hopkins has 7 catches for 77 yards already in this one. And I'm sure he's going to have a bunch more targets. So there's 10 minutes left in the third. So lots of time left in this game.
No, yeah. Lots of time left, but I don't know. It's going to be very hard for the Cardinals to come back and make this game competitive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, why don't we get into the NFL slate that we had over the weekend? We'll start in the NFC East, and let's get it right into the Eagles, who still lead the league, top record, top place in the NFC East. They narrowly scraped out a victory against this new Colts team that have started to become pretty competitive with Jeff Saturday. They're coming off a victory last week, and they almost pulled off the massive upset this week. Jalen Hurts got a touchdown with about 1:20 left in the game to pull out the 17-16 victory. This was a shocker. I thought this was going to be an absolute laugher, but yeah, the Eagles just barely got the victory.
Highly competitive. I don't know what Jeff Saturday did, but he's got them boys playing. You know, they're playing hard for him, man. So I was impressed, but I was more impressed with the fact that the Eagles found a way to win.
Yeah,
they ground out a victory, man, and Hurts did it with his legs once again. 18 of 25, 196 yards, 1 touchdown, and then 16 carries, 86 yards, 1 TD.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that he got that touchdown on pretty much a shot, like a quarterback draw, I believe it was.
mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back to pass. And it was the middle of the field wide open. He was
wide
just like,
open, yeah.
And like he literally jogged. He jogged it with it, for a touchdown. I was impressed.
Yeah, that was really the only big mistake I saw the Colts make all day. They just for some reason left the middle of the field just completely wide open. He walked in. The Eagles are 5-0 on the road, looking phenomenal. The last 2 times they've had a record this big is at 9-1. They made the Super Bowl, so yeah, the odds-on favorite to go all the way. And they host Green Bay next, so yeah, they could keep going. The teams that they have to play in the next 4 or 5 weeks are all really doable, and this team could keep going on. But yeah, I was really surprised that they had as much trouble as they had with Indy, but they got the win nonetheless, and that's all that really counts in the end. So we had a game between Dallas, who's in second place in the conference or in the division, and Minnesota, and I was super excited for this one. After Minnesota beat Buffalo last week, I thought, holy cow, this is going to be a game of the Titans, going to be a shootout. We're going to see Jefferson against Lamb, and we're going to see Pollard and Zeke against Dalvin Cook, and it's just going to be phenomenal tight game. And man, was it ever not. This was the biggest blowout on the road that the Cowboys have ever had for a victory. 40-3. This was not even close. I was pretty surprised and shocked by this result.
It's almost as if like the Vikings, they just could not get up to this game.
No.
It's like they had a hangover from the last game that they maybe knew. It's like, you probably should have won that game, but we won that game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now coming in with the Cowboys, and they just got smoked. Like they were never in this game.
No.
They were not. It's not even close. They were never in this.
Yeah, this was just an absolute annihilation. Incredible. Tony Pollard. I've been saying this guy, to me is the guy that they should be leaning on all the time. Ezekiel Elliott, should be faded, and Pollard should be, the guy that they feature. And when Zeke went down a few weeks ago with an injury, Pollard started, being able to show what he's got. It's good to have Zeke, as a back to, get some few short yardage. He was able to get a couple touchdowns this game, but look at the numbers what Pollard put up. Like, what an absolute beast of a game.
15 carries, 80 yards, 6 receptions, 109 yards, and that's where he got his touchdowns.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns. Like that the man almost had 200 yards.
Yeah.
All right. So that to me tells me maybe you should feature him more. Or maybe just keep doing what you're doing right now and Zeke a little bit less. Because like you said, Zeke is still pretty good on that short yardage situation. He can get that done. Yeah. But the guy that's going to be like the game breaker is Pollard. So give him the ball.
Well, look, they both had 15 carries, and Pollard had twice as many rushing yards. So, obviously he's the guy that can get into those situations. And I don't know what happened with the Vikings defense, but the one Pollard touchdown just down the sideline, untouched. I don't think he was touched on both of his touchdowns, actually.
Yeah.
It was kind of a really bad performance by the Vikings defense, but that Cowboys defense, man, they don't get, I don't think they get as much credit as they should. Micah Parsons was an absolute beast. They had 7 sacks on the game, and he got a couple sacks and recovered a fumble, and yeah, he's leading a squad that can really take Dallas far if they can play this well. Look out, the rest of the NFC and on into the playoffs. This is going to be a great team if they can keep this together.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be a great team, and then also too, like Micah Parsons, like that's a dude's like defensive MVP right now.
Yeah.
He has been absolutely incredible like so far this season, and yeah, Dallas's defense is no joke. They're that good.
Yeah, somehow they shut down Justin Jefferson and the rest of this team, and back to the drawing board for the Vikings, onwards and upwards with the Cowboys. Okay, Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving. This will be always the case as far as we're alive, I guess. They host the Giants on Thursday. It's the 1:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern time, and the Vikes host the Patriots. And also on Thanksgiving, that's the 5:20 Pacific time game. So we'll see those games. I can't wait. Love Thanksgiving. I usually take it off. Your production's actually stopping Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You guys get off. Unfortunately, I think we got to work.
Yeah, sorry, that sucks. But yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to like getting my rest, sleeping in, and then just being able to just get up and just watch some sports.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, good. Lots of good action. Okay, sticking with the NFC East. Giants went into this game against the Lions, and you think, okay, Giants will keep rolling. Lions got a horrible defense this year, and they should be able to keep pace with Dallas, keep pace with Eagles. Should be no problem. But Jamal Williams was massive, got 3 rushing touchdowns. Detroit's defense actually played pretty damn awesome. And the Lions, 3 wins in a row. Suddenly looks like they've turned a corner, and they looks like they have a defense and a good offense. So good on them.
Yeah, good on them. They actually had like a rushing attack, like a very good one, because they scored 4 touchdowns on the ground, Swift with 1, Williams with 3, and they stymied the Giants. Giants really couldn't do much on offense, and more importantly, they stopped the run. Barkley was pretty much a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, I don't know how they were able to shut down Saquon because he's had an amazing year. Daniel Jones had some pretty good stats, but the 2 picks that he threw were huge and big momentum changers, and really gave the Lions a leg up. Jamal Williams now leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 12. Chubb has 11. The King, Derrick Henry, 10. Jalen Hurts has 8. So, man, amazing year for Jamal Williams. Coming out of the Lions, pretty surprising that he's leading the league with rushing TDs.
Yeah, no, it is surprising, but you know what? At least the Lions got a bright spot, and they got players. They got some young guys in there that they can grow around for sure.
Giants were dealt a big blow as well. Wan'Dale Robinson blew out his knee, and he was having a career day with 9 catches, 100 yards, and it looks super serious. Might need surgery. Not too good. Lots of rumors that Odell Beckham Jr. is coming back to the Giants, possibly, probably. Lots of speculation on lots of places he's gone, but he's from the Giants. They need a receiver now that Wan'Dale's done. I could see it happening, and probably won't happen for this Thanksgiving game, but they'll probably sign him following a few days before, and we'll get to see him back in a Giants uniform. It would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Although I'm a little bit surprised. Well, maybe I shouldn't be, but I thought he just would have went to a more of a for sure team that possibly could win it all. Like I I honestly thought the Bills were maybe possibly a front runner for him to go to.
Yeah, maybe it seems like he's leaning towards the Giants, but who knows? Money talks usually, and but yeah, you think he wants to go somewhere that's one of the elite teams that really has a serious legitimate shot at a Super Bowl, but yeah, maybe he's more comfortable going back to a place that he's familiar with.
Yeah, and also too, maybe the Giants can actually, give him the money that he wants.
Yeah,
Which is kind of a hard thing for a lot of these teams to try to organize that or try to, balance the budget, so to speak.
fit into salary cap. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Okay, as I already mentioned, Giants play the Cowboys on Thursday, and the Lions also play Thursday as usual on Thanksgiving Day. They host the Bills. That's the early game, 9:30. So lots of amazing matchups. I'm pretty stoked for yeah, those Thursday games. I think I'm
Already
I'm
coming down with
developing a
something,
cough. I'm coming down with something. Yeah. I feel it. I feel it right here. It might be, yeah, Thursday. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should call in right now and yeah, can't make it. Yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna feel so much FOMO. Holy crap! That entire day, I'm gonna be like, no, what am I doing here?
I know. But don't worry. I get to watch it. So don't worry.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Oh yeah, that really doesn't make me feel any better.
Oh man, I thought it would. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay, last team in the division. All four teams in this division all have a over 500 record. Commanders are last, but 6-5 on the year. Another great effort by the Washington defense in this one. They were playing Houston, who is top lowest team in the league, but still really phenomenal effort by them. They had Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat both had 2 sacks apiece. I cannot believe how little how little yards Houston had. They were -1 net passing yards at the half, and they had 5 total yards on 21 plays in that first half. So Commanders defense, after beating the Eagles last week, they were able to just completely dominate Houston and get a huge win here, 23-10 over the Texans.
Yeah. Huge win. And again, Taylor Heineke. Somehow, some way, that guy just figures out a way to win games.
Yeah.
For the Commanders. Like he just figures out a way to win games. He's winning more games than what that other guy used to not do for them, which is Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yeah.
Carson Wentz, he's not winning games, but this guy is. So there's something to it. That's all I got to say. There's something to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as as I mentioned a few times, this is an amazing division. All 4 teams are looking good. If the playoffs started this week, all 4 teams would actually make it, which is pretty incredible. Going forward, Washington hosts the Falcons in the early window on Sunday, and Houston goes to Miami to play the Dolphins. So, okay, that was the NFC East. Let's turn to the NFC West. Seahawks had a bye, and they continue to remain on top of the division with a 6-4 record. They host the Raiders and the Vegas Raiders in the late window Sunday, 105. 49ers and Cardinals, as I mentioned a little earlier, they're playing now. Is that still, we're sitting at 24-10 still. So it looks like the Niners will be able to move up, and they will be 6-6 now on the year. Cardinals, if it remains the same, fall to 4-7. The Rams, though, sit in the basement after another tough loss. As I mentioned last week, Cooper Kupp had a pretty serious injury. He underwent surgery on his ankle. He will be out about 6 to 8 weeks. And as you said, Rams are dead now. They lost him. He was their, huge key offensive player, and without him, this is over.
No, yeah. Like he was their one light in the dark, and now lights are out. There's nothing left. It's a shame. It's unfortunate, but that this team they just do not have the championship caliber that they had last year.
No. Yeah, they've really disappointed after such a phenomenal year last year. This was not good. Falling to 3-7 now in the basement. I think playoffs are just a distant memory now, and this is crazy. Saints had a good win. 27-20. Didn't mention it earlier. The front runner for rookie of the year this year is Chris Olave. He had 5 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. He's leading receivers in targets, receptions, and yardage on the year, and he got his third 100-yard afternoon and his third touchdown. And wow, this is a really good pickup for them. Great rookie, and has looked really, really sharp all year long.
Yeah, he has. He's looked incredible. He's looked very, very good. And what the Saints have going on with Dalton actually had a great game. Yeah. 21-25, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I do love how they still utilize Taysom Hill.
Yeah, me
too. Just throw him in there. Just as long as that guy has the ball in his hands, he makes things happen.
Yeah. He does. Yeah, they used him so well maybe about a month ago, and he hadn't really touched the ball a ton the last couple games, but he was able to get some passes in. He rushed the ball. He even had a catch. I love that they use him as that Swiss Army knife, and I think he contributes so much to this team. You might as well, you keep using him in all 3 facets.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because he's a weapon that needs to be used. He's a guy that you just have to figure out creative ways to get the ball in his hands, and then he'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, he's awesome. Most teams need a guy like him. It's great to have. But you're right. Dalton's numbers were phenomenal, and this was a great victory for New Orleans. Even though they're 4-7, that was really big for them. Okay, the Saints go to San Fran. They play in the afternoon on Sunday, and the Rams go to KC to play the Chiefs. 1:25 Sunday. 49ers host the Saints, same time, 1:25 here Pacific time, and the Cards host the Chargers at the 1:05 time on Sunday. So okay, let's turn to the NFC North. As we mentioned earlier, the Vikings lost to the Cowboys, but they're still on top of the division with a 8-2 record. Huge lead in the division. They host the Patriots on Thursday in the late window. The Lions sit in second place at 4-6. They beat the Giants, and they host the Bills on Thursday, 9:30. The Packers still sit in third place in the division. They lost to Tennessee on Thursday, 27-17. Tennessee moved to 7-3, and the Packers 4-7. I don't know. Starting to really think that Packers could be done already. This has been a shocking year, and Tennessee was the latest team to beat up on them. Derrick Henry led the way again. He even threw a couple passes.
One for a touchdown.
Yeah, one for a touchdown, and gave him the ball a ton of times. He touched it about more than 30 times. Led the way for sure, but he's finally utilizing him as a quarterback as well. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, you know what? He probably said, "Boys, I got an arm. Let me show it. Come on, give me the ball. Give me the ball."
Sure, can do everything. Can do everything. Like
Yeah,
he's even a better taste in hell, isn't he?
yeah, yeah. No, well, he's definitely a bigger taste. Bigger. He's bigger.
Yeah.
That's a damn shit. But he had a great game. 2 for 2, threw for a touchdown, 28 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown for himself. And then Tannehill was good. He only had the one pick, but he threw for two touchdowns, 333 yards. Yeah, man, they were very effective in their win against the Packers.
Yeah, I loved how great Tannehill was, and Treylon Burks had a good game, 111 yards. Um, the Packers, Christian Watson had another two TDs, 5 TDs in the last 2 games, but not enough. And get Green Bay, as I said earlier, goes to Philly to play the Eagles on the Sunday nighter. So not good. I'm sure they weren't happy to see them on the schedule when they're struggling this bad. And yeah, they could wake up after week 12, 4-8. How the mighty have fallen. Titans host the Bengals in that early window on Sunday. And the last team from the NFC North, the Bears sit 3-8 after losing to Atlanta 27-24. Unfortunately, Justin Fields picked up a very pretty severe injury, I hear, to his non-throwing shoulder. There was some reports today that this actually might be season ending, which will be really sad to hear if that's the case. He's had such a great year. If they would have had a bit of a defense, this team could have done something this year. But yeah, hopefully this isn't season ending or career threatening, but I guess it's a pretty severe injury to his non-throwing shoulder.
That sucks. That sucks because like he still, even with said injury, he still had a great game. Right?
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like he was getting stronger as the season was going on. They were
Totally.
getting closer and closer to winning these games. Like man passed for 153 yards, got a touchdown, 18 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. But that's one of the things when you have a running quarterback like that. He he,
Yeah.
he he's more susceptible to getting hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah. This game came down to the last couple minutes. Yu Hong Koo hit a 53-yard field goal to get the winning score. The Bears have lost 4 in a row and 6 of 7. Atlanta's still in the mix, and possibly yeah, has a chance with a big win here. Cordell Patterson had a 103-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That is his 9th such touchdown in his career, setting an NFL record. And he has 7 career touchdowns of over 100+ yards. No one else in NFL history has more than 3. So this guy's still a huge weapon in the backfield as well as returning kicks. Yeah, that was a huge touchdown for him.
No, that's massive, and yeah, he's electrifying to watch. At times, like he's a game breaker. He's a
Yeah.
game breaker for the Falcons, and they're just lucky to have a player like that.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Brandon Ayuk just got a second touchdown of the game, a 13-yard touchdown pass from Jimmy G, and it is 31-10 now. Oh, there's a flag on the kick, but 30-10, 31-10 coming. Yeah, San Fran running away with it. There was a tough injury in this game. Kyle Pitts was injured, blew out his knee, and understand he'll have to have surgery and he'll be lost for the year from what the reports were. He's had a phenomenal, great year, and this is a big loss for Atlanta.
Yeah, huge loss, and it sucks. It's definitely going to obviously affect their offense and how they scheme and how they run things. But well, when it comes to Kyle Pitts, hopefully he recovers, and then next year.
Yeah. Bears play the Jets on Sunday. Falcons play the Commanders. Okay, NFC South, the Bucks still lead the division 5-5. They had a bye this week, and they go to Cleveland to play the Browns in that early window on Sunday. And as I just mentioned, the Falcons are in second place. They're 5-6. Saints are in third at 4-7, and the Panthers sit last in the division and tied for the worst record in the conference at 3-8. They lost 13-3 against the Ravens. Baker Mayfield was a starting QB again, but I don't think anybody in Carolina was excited about that. Another couple picks for him and could not generate any touchdowns. Yeah, this is a lost season, obviously, in Carolina again. And yeah, Jackson just had an okay day, sort of really not the norm for his numbers. Demarcus Robinson was huge, 9 catches, 128 yards. Mark Andrews, great to see him back from injury. He returned and had a pretty good game with another 63 yards. And Baltimore sits 7-3 on the season.
Yeah, Jackson just did enough to win this game because, well, let's be honest, he didn't actually have to do like a lot.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah, all he had to make sure of, like, he just had to take care of the ball. He did have the one pick, but then he did run one in for a touchdown. So Ravens are rolling.
Yeah, sure are. Yeah. Carolina hosts the Broncos, and the Ravens go to Jacksonville to play the Jags. Okay, AFC. We mentioned it last few weeks. The beast of the NFC is in the East, and the beast in the AFC is the East as well. All 4 teams, at least 2 games over 500. Dolphins sit first at 7-3, and they had a bye this week, and they get to play the worst team in the NFL this coming Sunday. The Texans are coming to Miami, so yeah, I think we can almost sort of pencil that in as a guaranteed win. The Bills are also 7-3 and sitting in second place, and the Bills game was moved from Buffalo because did you hear how much snow that fell on Buffalo over the weekend there? Did you hear how much it was?
I didn't hear how much it was, but I saw the picture off Instagram, and I was just like, "What is that? A glacier?" I thought there was supposed to be like a stadium there. Like it was just like it looked like just a mountain of snow. Like,
yeah, it was as tall as Josh Allen is. 6.5 feet of snow fell on Buffalo over like a 24-hour period or something insane. So
the whole city is just done. Like 6.5 feet means you're not doing nothing. You're not going to school. You're not going to work. You're not going anywhere.
The best social media things that came out of Buffalo were all the Bills Mafia went to all the houses of the Bills players and dug them out. They got snowblowers and shovels, and they made a path so all of them could at least get out, get to the airport so they could fly to Detroit and play a game. They went out in full force and made sure that every one of the players was getting out of his house and getting to the airport. It was pretty cool.
Are you kidding me? They are crazy. They that's well, it's cool. Let's be honest. That's super cool, but also too, it's like, wow, passionate fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think they take the cake for the most passionate fans in the whole NFL. And yeah, it was fun to watch. I got such a kick out of it. They made sure they had all their equipment there to dig out all the team, and I'm glad they're all popular teammates. Maybe one of the guys pissed off the Mafia and they didn't dig them out, but I think everybody got safe and sound there to Detroit. And the cool thing is they actually play Detroit there at Ford Field again this Thursday. So kind of interesting that they got back-to-back games there. And this was their home field for the game. The game started off well. Josh Allen threw a 5-yard TD pass to Stephon Diggs late in the first half to give the Bills the lead. and then they scored on all 5 of their possessions in the second half to stay ahead. And they didn't win comfortably, but they were able to stay ahead of Cleveland, won 31-23. And typical Browns fashion, did you see the onside kick that they should have had? They blew it. They almost had the onside kick in the last minute and a half.
Right. Yes.
Did you
Yes.
see
Yes.
it was bobbled by the
Yeah.
Bills receiver, and then the guy had it in his hands, and somehow he lost it out of bounds,
Yeah.
and Buffalo maintained possession. It was Browns fans, they gotta just beside themselves, because if something can go wrong, it will go wrong to the Cleveland team, and it's pathetic. That was tough to watch for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough to watch because it's like it keeps happening to them over and over again. And if I'm looking at like Brissett's numbers, 28 of 41, 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like he had a great game.
Awesome game.
That's a good game, man. But like the Browns somehow find a way to lose these games. They just find a way to lose it.
They sure do. They host Tampa Bay. The Browns host Tampa Bay on Sunday. And I said it as a few times, the Bills play on Thanksgiving against the Lions at Ford Field. So, okay. We mentioned that Patriots game briefly. Why don't we just go back and just mention it again? That was pretty unbelievable that it was 3-all with 21 seconds left, and then they punt the ball. Marcus Jones, the rookie, ran it back 84 yards with 5 seconds left on the clock. There were 537 punts before that one this season, and that was the first and only one that's been run back for a touchdown. Poor Jets. We talked about the Browns losing tough games. The Jets seem to pull losses from the jaws of victory all the time.
Yeah, because like, what a barn burner of a game. First off, 3-3. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the Jets, they just find a way to lose,
Yeah.
but what a way to lose. Punt return, touchdown, walk off. All right,
Yeah, that was just crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. The Jets have lost 14 straight games against New England. This is their kryptonite. They cannot seem to figure out how to beat the Patriots. That's gotta be so disheartening that year after year after year after year, the hoodie comes in and figures out a way to pull off the win and beat the Jets.
Yeah, and I love it. Like whoever the head coach is at that time is like, hoodie's coming to town. Don't know if I can beat him. It's like
Crazy.
if I look at my record before, this is not. It's not going to bode well. This does not bode well for me.
Yeah. Not good. That whole division's good though. Miami 7-3, Buffalo 7-3, and both New England and the Jets are 6-4. So still on the right side of the ledger, and yeah, hopefully they can figure it out. Okay. AFC West. The Sunday nighter featured the Chiefs going into LA to take on the division rival Chargers. This is another rival, sort of loosely based rival, because the Chiefs always seem to get the Chargers number. Justin Herbert gets a touchdown late, and did anybody think that Mahomes wasn't going to be able to march down and get that victory? I don't think so. I think it was just like, why did you leave so much time on the clock? What are you doing? Do not get it back in his hands. This was such a mistake. And Brandon Staley's famous for this. His entire tenure as the coach, he's made too many mistakes. And this was another one. Mahomes got the ball. Kelce, my hero of the week, 3 touchdowns, another phenomenal game. This is the best tight end in the game by far and away. And he set another record, past Gronk for something else. And it's just week after week after week, Mahomes and Kelce together. What a dynamic duo.
Yeah, they're definitely a dynamic duo. They just get it done. And the funny thing for me when I was watching the game, I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna lose. Like I just looked at the Chargers, I go, because if there's one thing that we know about Patrick Mahomes, it's like, oh sweet, you left me some time. Great, I'm gonna
Yeah,
win. And
yeah.
that's it. It's like, oh, okay, that's
Oh
cool.
man. Yeah, it's so frustrating that yeah, we know it. Almost every fan that watched that game knew it, but somehow the Chargers didn't, and left some time off to get a loss here. 8-2 on the year now. The Chiefs and the Chargers. Still in it, but 5-5 on the year, and have to scrap their way to get in the playoffs. This record that Kelce set was his 33rd career 100-yard game, past Gronk for the most all time.
Oh,
There was a good thing for the Chargers. Keenan Allen came back and looked great in his first game back after missing a bunch with an injury. Unfortunately, Mike Williams went down, aggravated his high ankle sprain, and was probably going to miss another week or two. Speaking of high ankle sprains, Clyde Edwards-Helaire suffered one of his own, and so the backup Isaiah Pacheco had to be thrown in to be the number one running back, and he had a great game, 15 carries for 107 yards, and looked like a really good weapon for the Chiefs in the backfield.
yeah. No, he had a fantastic game. Like the Chiefs, it looks like they're going to be in good hands, even though unfortunately Hilaire got injured. But Pacheco stepped in and they didn't miss a beat.
Yeah. The Chiefs host the Rams late window Sunday, and the Chargers go to Arizona to play the Cardinals. It's 12 and a half minutes left, 31-10. Niners are still up. So, okay, this let's talk about the other AFC matchup that had division rivals, Raiders and the Broncos. Both teams really disappointing and struggling this year. This was another one of those really tight games against two teams that have really not had a good year, but turned out to be kind of fun in the end, with Devontae Adams catching a 35-yard TD pass in overtime to get the win. I don't know what the hell was the Broncos doing though. Like,
Yeah,
why aren't you like triple teaming the guy in overtime? Like, how did he get wide open like that? They just handed the game to the Broncos there in the end.
yeah. The Broncos handed it to the Raiders for
I
sure, and
mean,
it was hilarious to me because you saw the play develop, and it's almost like all the defenders, all the DBs, the safety just kind of lost track of him. It's like that's the one guy that you never lose track of. You just
yeah.
don't lose track of. Like Devontae must have been like, there is like literally no one around. This is awesome. All right, thanks. And
Yeah.
then he walked in for a touchdown.
Oh,
Game over.
jeez. That was brutal. Nathaniel Hackett has been just absolutely brutal this year. He is building his resume as one of the worst coaches to ever participate in an NFL game. Like, that was so pathetic. Like, he's the guy that you definitely, tell their guys to just stick on him. Do not let him out of your sight. Triple coverage. Let anybody else beat you, but not him. And this was pretty bad. After a pretty good effort, Broncos, yeah, they just threw the game away with that one.
Adams, 7 receptions, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically he beat them.
He
He,
was
he
the he
beat.
was the yeah, he was the difference.
He was the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. Derek Carr had his 26th fourth quarter comeback and 32nd game-winning drive in his 9-year Raiders career. And he must love being able to throw it to Devontae. There was a Bronco that took a bit of the heat today and was released. Melvin Gordon has finally been put out to pasture because of his fumbleitis. He has had 5 fumbles this year, and they said, no, that's enough. We don't want to see any more. Go play with somebody else, and cut him loose today.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to make a difference for the team overall. Weird. I just, just me thinking out loud. I just don't think that's going to make much of a difference. But somebody's going to pick him up. Somebody's going to pick him up for sure.
I did also actually want to mention that Devontae Adams joined some elite company. This was his sixth season where he had 10 touchdowns or more in a season. The company that he joins, all the players that are on this list are in the Hall of Fame already. Jerry Rice had 9 seasons, and Jerry Rice and Randy Moss both had 9 seasons of 10 or more touchdowns in a season. Marvin Harrison had 8. Terrell Owens had 8, and Chris Carter had 6. So, as I said, every one of those is in the Hall of Fame, and this is a Hall of Fame resume that Devontae's putting together, and just not slowing down, even though he moved to the Raiders, who having a pretty rough year, 3-7, but he's still contributing big time for them.
Yeah. And you remember, like weeks ago, I said what Carr needs to do is just pass that dude the ball.
Yeah.
That getting him the ball is your best chance of winning games. Yeah. And ever since I said that, they're targeting Devontae. He's targeting Devontae all the time, which is what they've always been doing anyways.
Yeah, they sent me a message and they just said thanks. Make sure you pass the word on. Thanks to Jason Cameron for giving us a suggestion. It's worked.
No, yeah, well, of course it works, because it's like anybody can tell it's like that dude is one of the best receivers in the game. So get him the ball.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter if he's double covered. Just toss it up there. They'll figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, they will figure it out. And holy cow, man. Yeah, he's so elite. I know the Packers should not have gotten rid of him, that's for sure. They are ruined the day, and the Raiders are the beneficiaries. The Raiders made some announcements this past week that they are sticking with this regime, this team. They aren't going to make changes. They're not firing the coach, not getting rid of the general manager. They're going with this team. They said, it's a new system, new everything. They're happily going to let them have another opportunity next year.
You know what? Hey, like change, when change happens, sometimes it's hard to, to accept the change.
Yeah.
For all the players, for the coaching staff, for everybody. Like it's hard to implement that change, and sometimes it takes time.
Yeah.
So then there needs to be patience. People need to be patient as they implement these changes, and I think it will serve them for the better going forward. This is a rough year this year, but hey, it's not always going to be like that.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. The AFC North is led by the Ravens, who we covered a bit earlier. The Bengals sit second place at 6-4. Joe Burrow had a monster game again, 355 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a couple picks, but hey, Superman has an off day here and there, but amazing numbers. Joe Mixon suffered an injury and went down partway through this game, so Samaje Perine stepped in and also had a phenomenal game. 3 touchdown catches out of his 4 TDs. He's the first Bengals running back in the history of the organization with 3 touchdown catches coming out of the backfield. And nice win. Steelers put up a big fight, but they did lose 37-30 to the Bengals.
Yeah, like Steelers, they put in a good fight, but they were overmatched.
Yeah.
Quite simply, they were overmatched in this game. Higgins had a huge game, 9 receptions, 148 yards, and Bengals looking good.
Yeah, they are looking good, and they've kind of put this together. Steelers, Najee Harris had a big game, a couple touchdowns, over 100 yards combined. And George Pickens had a decent game too, but Steelers running back Jaylen Warren hamstring injury, and Najee just went off. They were kind of getting some share of the carries there. But as we've seen with a few games, once one guy goes down, the other guy has to step up, and he usually does if it's a backup or the number one guy. No splitting carries anymore, and boom, here we go. Bottom of this AFC North, the Browns 3-7, as we mentioned earlier in their loss to Buffalo. Bengals go to Tennessee to play the Titans early window, and Pittsburgh goes to Indy. 1 week from tonight, they play the Monday Nighter. And finally finishing with the AFC South, Tennessee 7-3, big lead in the division. They beat up Green Bay, as we said earlier, 27-17. Colts are still alive in the wild card race. Amazingly enough, they did have that heartbreaking loss to the Eagles. Colts are 4-6-1, but still have a chance at it. Jags had a bye. They host the Ravens next, early window Sunday. Jags are 3-7, and the Texans, as we mentioned, worst record in the league, 1-8-1, and really the front runner to get the number one overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, and they're doing it so well. They're doing it so well by just losing these games. They're really good at losing games. Really good.
Yeah. They are phenomenal at it. Phenomenal. We're gonna see what happens this week with Zach Wilson. I think that's going to be one of the biggest stories of the week on what Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, does, and we'll see how it shapes up. But that was week 11 of the NFL. As we mentioned, a lot of great performances. My hero of the week was Travis Kelce. Who did you sort of have as your top guy for the weekend?
My top guy was the guy that was passing Kelce the ball, Patrick Mahomes.
Nice.
It's like, he's incredible. He really is. He just finds a way, especially when you look at the time on the clock for the fourth quarter. You go, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Yeah. That was a big mistake.
Big mistake.
And it's funny because every fan knows that. It's like, what are you doing? Why would you leave him that much time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah. So weird. Yeah. So okay. We had a UFC card on the weekend. It was UFC Vegas 65 Fight Night 215. This was a dog of a card. This was one of the worst cards the UFC has ever put on. There was not one ranked fighter that fought on this card. Not one top 15 fighter that fought on this card. There was the possibility of that happening until the main event was scrapped hours before it was actually supposed to begin. Derrick the Black Beast Lewis was supposed to fight Sergey the Polar Bear Spivak, and these guys were the ranked fighters on the card, but looks like Lewis was hospitalized on Saturday night. Luckily, medically cleared hours later and was released. Haven't heard the details on what happened with him. I wanted to see him. He is the all-time knockout king in the UFC history. 13 KOs, 17 wins, the second most at heavyweight, and this was going to be a great one, but disappointing to say the least that that fight fell off, and then we were left with a whole bunch of dog crap. But we do have to cover it a little bit and talk about it. This was a tough one though, man. Really bottom of the barrel. They did not put a lot of matchups that really moved the needle here, did they?
No, just simply said no. Like it was, as I'm watching these fights, I'm like, oh, wow, this is tough sledding. This is tough sledding. Like it was a hard one to watch. Like even now the co-main just got pushed up to the main event. At first, I was just like, okay, so is Kudalaba just gonna do his thing where he grapples a guy and leans on him, and then this is what the fight is?
Yeah.
Wow, this is gonna be exciting. And then it didn't happen like that. So the
Yeah.
first round, Kudalaba definitely dominated with his grappling against Injuku. Yeah, I think I said it right.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then in the second round, Injuku, he came out with some fire underneath him.
Yeah.
And perfectly timed flying knee, catching Kudalaba coming in, and then he hit him with another knee straight up, and then he took him out. He took him out, man. You could tell that Kudalaba was rocked. I'm gonna give Kudalaba a lot of credit though. That dude's got a cement head. I don't know how he just didn't get knocked out from the first one.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
I have no idea how he did not get knocked completely out from that. So
yeah, that was impressive. He just walked through it and really tried getting a takedown right away, but that second one really wobbled him. And then once he came up against the cage and took some more strikes, it was over. But yeah, this was actually, it turned out better than I expected. Kudalaba was only 4-1 in his last 6 coming into this one, so I wasn't expecting to see anything spectacular from him, but he really threw some great strikes early. He got a big takedown, and then he did another throw and got Kennedy down, and I thought, okay, well, he's putting on a good performance, but those knees right up the middle, just as Kudalaba was coming in, bam. The first one, you would have thought almost anybody would have gone down with that one, but to land a second one was lethal, and the telling strike. Kennedy got $50K for that, and his one of his training partners is Ryan Spann, who just made an announcement that he finally had his first training camp for his last fight. He said, I've never really went into a training camp for any of my fights. I finally just decided maybe that's something I should do. And so we're going to see some craziness from Ryan Spann if that's actually really, truly the case.
Isn't he like in the top 10? Like so he managed to be that good and he doesn't do training camps. That's got to be unheard of. Like that, I think that's got to be unheard of. Like, are you kidding me? So basically, what he's trying to tell everybody is like, I never really tried before. I'm gonna try now. See what happens.
Yeah. When
that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's just incredible. Yeah, when the three of us, Stefan and you and me, were out a couple weeks ago watching the UFC. We talked about Fortis MMA that's out of Dallas, Texas. Both those guys fight out of that, and that camp's starting to really come on. A lot of really, really top fighters are coming out of there, and look out for the guys out of Dallas. Who would have thought Dallas was going to be a hotbed for MMA?
Yeah, I never would have thought that, but you got some great fighters coming out of there now. Fantastic fighters.
I know, amazing. Okay, why don't we talk about the co-main event that turned out to be a heavyweight battle between Waldo Cortez Acosta and Chase Sherman. Salsa Boy just fought 3 weeks ago, and he decided he would get back in there really quickly. This is a guy that's very athletic. He's a former pitcher that could throw 100 miles an hour out of Dominican Republic. 259 pounds, 6'4", but moves really good. Really loved his performance here. Massive shot on Chase, who I thought Chase was out on about 3 or 4 occasions and walked through it quite a bit. But this was another great performance by Acosta, and gets the decision win.
Yeah, he gets the decision win. I just, the speed of which he throws his hands is something else. Like it is something else to see. I have no idea how Sherman kept standing up throughout this course of this fight. He ate so many shots to
How
the
did
head.
he
Like
survive?
I have no idea
Oh
how
man,
he was able to keep fighting and keep standing
I
and
know.
keep throwing effective leg kicks. By the way, that was
Yeah,
the one thing that he was actually very good at in this fight. But Acosta dominated him when it came to throwing hands. Dominated him.
yeah, yeah. Huge shots and yeah, nice straight shots that were getting through and just kept landing huge shots. Chase was taking a brutal beating, but somehow survived. It was pretty shocking. You thought at any moment he could go down and that would be it, but yeah, he survived it. Lost the decision, but yeah, I think a lot of people would have been yeah, pretty appreciative of the hard work and effort and the never say die attitude by Sherman there for sure.
No, oh yeah. Like I was impressed. I was impressed that he had that much heart to just keep going, keep pushing. Because even Acosta said at post fight, he's just like, I don't know what that dude was made of. I yeah, he was for a loss for words. He's
Yeah.
at a loss for words.
Yeah, he sure was. Yeah. The welterweight battle between Andre Fiallo and Muslim Salikov was a fun fight. Man, Muslim is tough. The king of kung fu. Superman punch rocked him early. That spinning back kick folded him down a bit. Then he get a spinning back kick to the head,
Yeah.
and Chris Tognoni stepped in once he landed a few shots after that spinning back kick. Man, Muslim has won 6 of the last 7, 13 knockouts, finished 15 of his 19 wins, and he's now with American Top Team. Got 50K for this fight and looked phenomenal doing it.
I love watching this guy fight. He is such a slick striker. Like, and then also too, whenever he does any of his spinning attacks, no tell.
No,
You
yeah,
can't
no,
tell if he's
no,
setting up for something like that. You just and it's so incredibly fast and powerful.
yeah,
Like that once, like the spinning head kick that he did when Fiallo was up against the cage. Yeah, yeah, that's when the ref's like, okay, I'll let him eat a couple more shots, but it's over.
yeah,
It's like it is over. Fiallo, he argued it, but I'm like, no, man, there's no arguing that. Like,
no.
there's more pain in your life coming at you.
He argued it, but then saw him stagger, as he was trying to walk away from the ref. So it was a
Yeah,
good stoppage. And
good
yeah,
stuff.
Salikov, you're very right. I was thinking that how quick, no tell, just immediately you're standing there, and all of a sudden, boom, you're getting kicked. To the gut, to the head, and it was
Yeah,
just so fast,
yeah.
so lethal, and right where he was aiming. Just yeah, look out. This division, put on notice. He's coming, and he's going to be a hard out for most guys in this division for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I like I said, he's must watch. He's must watch. I love watching him because I just love the way that he approaches his striking. It's artful the
Yeah,
way he does.
yeah. Okay, this fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts, mismatch. I didn't like this matchup. They didn't they really threw Danny Roberts to the wolves. Really brutal. Jack Della is just a killer. He went in and just annihilated this guy. Uh, his win streak is 13 straight, and yeah, another Australian guy. He should be on that Perth card in February. He got a
Yeah,
50K bonus for this one, but this was a big mismatch in my opinion.
he made it look easy.
Yeah.
Like Danny Roberts, in my opinion, is not that bad of a fighter.
No.
He looked horrible. Again, as against Medellina, like that dude made it look easy, and he also it was like effortless for him. Like he was like, I'm kind of trying, but not really. And then it was over. Like it was like his punches, his combinations were so incredibly accurate. Roberts never stood a chance.
Yeah.
He really didn't. He never stood a chance in this fight.
No, it was just wow, just so powerful and crisp and quick and over. Yeah, it was did not stand a chance here, right? For sure. Okay, there's some controversy on this flyweight fight between Charles Johnson and Zelgas Zigamulov.
Zuma Gula.
Zigagulov. Um, Zegas lost a split decision for the third time in the UFC. He decided to retire. He said he just is sick of the refereeing and he just doesn't understand. I thought he won this fight,
So did I.
but yeah, he lost controversially again in a split decision, and he fell to 1-5 in the UFC, 14-8 all-time record. I felt sorry for the guy. We'll see. Maybe this hurts right now, and he'll decide to continue on with his career. But he took this loss wrong, and another really poor decision on the referee's part. I mean, on the judge's part. I really thought, he should have been the victor in this one.
So did I. I thought he was just a step ahead of Johnson. And also, too, I thought he was the busier fighter throughout the entirety of the fight. So when it came down to a split decision, I'm like, Zumagulov, it should still be his win. And then when it wasn't, I was like, what? Really?
Weird.
And I still don't see how. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't believe Johnson was busy enough to win the fight.
Yeah.
And I really don't. And he was getting hurt a lot. Like, he did that weird stomping of his, I believe his right leg, because Zumagulov, very effective inside kicker. And so he hurt him, right? So with the amount of damage that he was obviously doing to Johnson, and the fact that Johnson, I didn't believe, was being as active as he should have been in the striking department and whatever, I just didn't. I did not see him winning this fight.
No, it seems super strange, and I don't know. I don't know how how or why. There was nothing that I saw that made it even possible that Johnson won this fight. But they raised his hand after, and I don't know. I'm at the loss to figure out how or why. I'm not sure, but let's turn to the prelims. Do you want to make any comment on the Jennifer Maria Munoz fight at all?
Maya looked great. Morose actually made a good concerted effort. She made the fight a lot closer than what I thought it would be. I thought Maya would just blow her out, but no, that was not the case. It was a very competitive fight. But Maya, I thought, was a better counter striker throughout the course of this fight. Consistently landed her right hand over and over again. Morose didn't have an answer for that.
Okay. I want to talk about this bantamweight fight between Miles Johns and Vince Morales. This was a really horrible fight. These guys just were not throwing. Terrible feeling out process that lasted round after round, and not much happening. Johns got a takedown that probably swung it in his favor. First round was super close, and I guess I gave it to Johns. Probably the second round with a takedown and gave it to him. He ended up grinding out a decision, but lots of controversy about this fight because Miles Johns' coach James Krause was banned from the building, was not able to coach him because he's embroiled in a bit of the betting controversy that went on a couple weeks ago, and the commission that is handling this investigation has made a few recommendations. They have went to all the sports books in Vegas and have said that any fight that Krause is part of, they are told not to offer betting with Krause as a coach, trainer, promoter, or fighter. They have just completely took him out of it. I watched James Krause's podcast weekly. He has something called the 1% podcast, and he also has a Discord channel with betting tips. He has been bragging for the past few months that he makes a lot of money on that side of the business. He has been put into this controversy, and this was kind of surprising that the commission has taken this step and said any fight that he's a part of, we will not take bets on anymore.
Wow, that's actually, they're making him an example. They're setting an example. They're making him an example. The one thing that I'm actually kind of surprised at with his podcast and stuff is just how open he was about how he was betting and what he was doing. Because like at the end of the day, you're associated with this sport. I don't know if you should be doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like, to me, that just, it sounds to me like that's incredible. That's not smart.
Right.
It's just not a smart move. It's just not smart. If you're gonna do it, you do it, but you keep that quiet.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking news, and we'll see. He might not. I don't know where he's going to turn. He said, he loves coaching, he loves training guys, but he makes his money. He makes 10 times more money in the gambling side of things, so he might just turn to that and decide that that's where he wants to go. Kansas. The Glory MMA has really had a lot of great fighters come out of that camp, and he's been able to, since he transitioned away, he just retired recently. He transitioned away. He's been a phenomenal coach, and I'd love to see him there. I'd love to see him training and getting a lot of these young guys into it. But I think John's missed having him there, and this, like you say, he's being made an example of. Dana White has been pretty open about his gambling, and he's actually been banned from a lot of casinos because he has been winning too much. And once you win too much with casinos, they're like, let's not let that guy in the building anymore. And maybe that's the case with Krause here too.
Yeah, I guess so, because I guess he's been too successful.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's always question marks with your success, especially if you're involved in the sport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Let's just blast through some of the rest of these. Do you want to mention anything about the Ricky Turcios, Kevin Natividad fight?
Yeah, actually, what I wanted to say was this is the only one I want to comment on, to be honest with you, because this fight was awesome.
Yeah,
I thought this was as high level as it gets.
So fun.
And it was a lot of fun, super close. But the one thing I love about Turcios, the way he flows with his grappling, like it doesn't matter if you take him down or if you're on top. Somehow he figures out a way to always reverse the position.
Yeah,
every single time. Like I was blown away at his ability to do that.
Yeah,
and just to create scrambles, weird scrambles. It's like the way that he fights. I like it because it's chaotic.
Yeah,
he just creates this really focused chaos where the other guy's going, "What is going on? Why am I
just
weird like position? Like what just happened?" Right?
Yeah.
And it's I really love watching this guy fight, and great fight, very close. But I thought Turcios won the fight.
Yeah, there was amazing reverses and really so much action. I just I couldn't believe all the changes, and me trying to look at it with a judge's point of view. I was having a hard time deciding who was winning the rounds, because each guy was getting 2 takedowns and they were getting reversed, and it was amazing. It was really good. I love Turcios when he gets on the mic. Very inspiring guy, great inspiring quotes, and really seems like a guy that's genuinely just thrilled with his life and has turned it around with mixed martial arts. And unfortunately, Natividad suffered his 3rd loss in a row with the UFC. He was having some really severe troubles, and he had to have surgery on both of his elbows. He had 17 bone chips removed from both his elbows and had to recover from that. So hopefully they gave him enough time to recover from surgery there. And yeah, we'll see him again soon, I'm sure. But yeah, one of my favorite fights for sure in a long time. These two guys are both highly skilled.
Oh yeah, highly skilled. They were both hurting each other. They both showed heart. They both showed grit. It was a great fight.
Yeah. Lots of great bantamweight fights on this card. There was 3 bantamweight fights on the prelims, but that one was the best by far. Okay, this was a pretty crazy matchup that they had here with Vanessa Little Monster Demopoulos against Maria Oliveira. 9.5-inch reach advantage for Oliveira. The Spider Girl, they call her, had to. It was just a smart striker versus grappler matchup. And Demopoulos, because she is so short, 5'2", she has to figure out a way to get in and get these takedowns. And man, she is super fun. This girl is entertaining, great scrapper, and huge victory for her.
Yeah, huge victory. She dominated on the grappling end of things when she was able to figure out how to enter in to get Oliveira down to the ground. Oliveira, no resistance on takedowns, none. And no ability to actually, like, her ability to get up was not great, not great at all whatsoever. But I will give Oliveira some credit in the third round when Demopoulos was finally slowing down due to her difficult weight cut, by the way. Yeah. When she was finally slowing down, Oliveira was beginning to piece her up. If she had a little bit more time, who knows? Maybe she gets her out of there. But she ran out of time, and Demopoulos gets
the win. I found out a lot more things about Demopoulos over the last couple of days than I knew about her. She had a pretty tough childhood. Her mother was a stripper. Her dad was the DJ at the strip club. They partied too much and couldn't take care of their kids, so they gave them to the grandparents to raise, and the grandparents raised them. And then at 18, she walked into the bar and became a stripper. Vanessa did. And she stripped for 13 years. She just retired about a year ago from stripping. She actually was still stripping while she was in the UFC. And she's decided now to put that career behind her and make mixed martial arts her full-time gig. Great personality, super fun girl. Had a tough life, but she seems like she's overcome all the difficulties and struggles in her life. And yeah, I think the future's pretty bright for her in this division in mixed martial arts. And yeah, she's fun to watch for sure.
No, she's definitely fun to watch. And you know what they say, if it doesn't kill you, it can only just make you stronger. And so I think even with her tough childhood and her tough life, I think it's still helped her to get to where she is now.
Yeah. She has a book on her website, $30. It's called The Stripper Bible. She's written the Bible on stripping. She's wanting to get the women that choose to do that for a living to make a lot of them, she said, make about $1,000 a month. She says if you follow these ways, you could probably make about 10,000 a month. And she's trying to help those people that are exotic dancers and help them with their career. But she said she's really happy that she finally decided that she will no longer be doing that for money.
Yeah, well, you know what? She's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is probably a very smart and astute choice for her going forward in her career.
Yeah, for sure. The only other thing I want to mention with this UFC was the crazy, amazing spinning back head kick that was landed by Nadia Silva on Teresa Bleda. Bleda was level changing on a takedown attempt. She spun around, kicked her perfectly. landed that to her face, and man, that was an amazing spinning back kick.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was perfectly timed. It
Perfect.
doesn't get any better than that. And yeah, Bleda was done.
Yeah. They said it was the 5th spinning back kick to head finish in UFC history, and perfect timing, like you mentioned. Paulo Costa was in her corner. Great to see him giving back to younger fighters, and yeah, helping her from her corner. It was fun. So yeah, the card wasn't great, but yeah, there was a few good things that we won't forget, and some of these prospects will move up the ranks as we go. There is another week break after this one. There isn't a fight until the following Saturday. The main event has Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Kevin the Mouth Holland. Both these guys are fun to watch. Holland, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, and this should be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, should be a barn burner. It's going to be very much a thinking man's match because Thompson is a very difficult fighter to fight. I think Holland's going to be like, he's going to have to figure out ways to find Thompson because he's very slick at avoiding strikes, avoiding damage, period.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Kevin Holland back. He took that loss to Khamzat Chimaev pretty hard, and talked about the possibility of walking away from the sport, but glad he's back. They brought him back. RDA against Brian Barberina should be a hell of a battle. Tai Tuivasa looking to do another shoey after he beats down Sergey Pavlovich. Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson. Kyle Dawkins fighting Eric Anders. Man, a really stacked main card.
Yeah. It's a great card. A lot stronger than the one we just saw.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Clay Guida on the card, Angela Hill, Nico Price, Michael Johnson against the Canadian Mark Jacasey, Darren the Damage Elkins, always really fun to watch. And yeah, this is 10 times better than the card we just witnessed.
Yeah. It's not even close.
Yeah.
This is going to be enjoyable to watch.
Okay, let's finish with some NBA talk. The Warriors finally got their first road win of the season last night, beating the Rockets 127-120. The Warriors made NBA history again. Golden State, led by Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins, combined had 23 three-pointers, the most by a trio in league history. And they got off the schneid, finally won on the road. All guys had great numbers, and nice to see them put it together and have a really nice road win.
Yeah, and also too, I love Klay Thompson. I think he's one of the most genuine and very well respected players in the league. And it's great to see that he finally got himself a great game. 41 points, 10 of 13 from three. He was absolutely on fire. It was just great to see, classic Klay again. Yeah, I hope this is more of the norm than what we've seen so far, because he has struggled mightily so far this season.
That's true. Really yeah. Steph was good, 33 points, 11 from 20 from the field, 7 of 14 from deep, and also had 15 assists. Wiggins chipped in with 22 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 6 of 11 from behind the arc, and they had 96 points combined, 75% of the total. Can we call them the splash triplets yet?
I don't know if we can do that yet, but they were definitely splash triplets for this game.
Steph is lighting it up this year. He's got more than 32 points a game, third in league scoring, 6.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists per game, 53% from the field, 44% from three, and 90% from the line. His 77 three-pointers are first in the NBA by 22 over Buddy Hield, who has only 55. He's on pace for his second 50-40-90 season, and only Larry Bird and Steve Nash have multiple seasons of 50-40-90. So yeah, he's absolutely been spectacular. The thing that I've been noticing as well is he's not just shooting from outside, he's actually driving to the hoop a lot more, getting a lot of those 2-point buckets, getting a lot of layups, and he's really making it so challenging and difficult for defenders that we're even having a worse time trying to defend him way out on the perimeter. Now he's going in and out, and he's almost becoming completely unstoppable.
Yeah, and also too, like he's even mixing in some mid range too as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's giving you the whole bag, so to speak. And when he's doing that, when he's playing like that, it is really tough to stop him. But unfortunately, not tough to stop the team. He's playing fantastic. Like the other day, he put up 50. If Steph Curry puts up 50 points for the Warriors, that's usually a win.
Yeah.
But right now, where they're at, they don't win those games.
No.
And it has been incredibly tough. And the reason why they're not winning those games is they lack on defensive effort, and their rebounding is absolutely horrible. Yeah. Those two things need to come up for them to start winning again.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. The James Wiseman experience isn't working out so good. He got sent into the G League. They said for a good extended period of time he's down there. He's not working out well at the NBA level, and this experiment isn't working out yet. They thought he was going to be their center of the future, but no, not quite yet. I am impressed with Steph's. He's just visibly more muscular, and he can take a pounding a lot better. I'm pretty shocked at how much different he looks. He's really put on a lot of muscle. Has definitely hit the gym a lot. He's only he's not even turning over the ball 3 times a game, which is really key for him because he's handles the ball so much and is so flashy with it. He's been good. But they need an interior presence. They need somebody for rebounds. They need somebody on defense there. Looney and Draymond, just can't handle the big boys that are usually coming night after night after night. I was disappointed. I came home to watch the Warriors game tonight and thought they were gonna be fun to watch. I started recording it, but none of them played. They decided to sit them all. Their starting 5 was Kuminga, Lamb, Looney, Poole, and DiVincenzo. None of the guys played. They Steve Kerr just said, F that, I'm not playing anybody back to back. No Clay, no Wiggins, no Curry, no Draymond. Pretty weird. They decided to just throw in the towel. They lost bad, 128-83 to New Orleans tonight.
Yeah, because you know what? The Pelicans are actually good. Yeah. So if you're facing up against Zion, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, it's like, no, dude, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, are they all injured? I'm like, why are these guys all in street clothes? What just happened? It's like,
yeah.
But this is this new era of load management where you just don't do that anymore, which I don't really know if I agree with it all the time.
No, because they sit 9 and 11 now, and it's not great. It would have been fun to watch them play tonight, but they did not play at all. Some sad news about the Warriors today as well. They are being sued by an FTX customer who accused them of fraudulently promoting the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange. This guy is a Canadian citizen and a resident of Hong Kong. He said he lost $750,000 basing his investment on the Warriors promoting it and saying this is where you should put your money, and he did, and now he's lost it all. The Warriors are also being named as a defendant in a lawsuit by FTX customers who are seeking damages for this bankruptcy and losing all their funds. They also are suing Steph Curry, Tom Brady, Naomi Osaka, and Larry David by name because they were the celebrity endorsers for this product. They're all going to be able to afford to lose a little bit, but kind of tough to hear that this team and all these guys are being sued over representing this company that obviously wasn't very on the up and up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's when celebrities got to be very careful where they decide to put their money or putting their face behind a product.
Yeah.
Because they, sometimes I'm not to say that, they had these bad intentions to rip these people off. They probably didn't know themselves. They had no idea.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The other big story that came this weekend was Kyrie Irving finally coming back after he was suspended. It was supposedly a 5-game suspension at minimum, and then he had a bunch of things that he needed to do to get back. He ended up missing 8 games all total, and finally came in over the weekend. He played in the game. He played 26 minutes, scored 14 points, pulled down five rebounds. Wasn't a big factor. There was a anti-Semitic group outside the arena that were rallying in support of Kyrie, even though I don't know if he wanted that, but Jaylen Brown decided to tweet his support of this group, and he is the vice president of the Players Union, and I was shocked to see this, and Kyrie doing what he's doing. Now it's gonna stir up some controversy in Boston and with Jaylen Brown, and I don't know, man. Jesus, why do these guys use Twitter and send out these dumb messages that can harm their careers and their reputations?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And also, too, you have to understand your positioning. You're you're the guy from the Players Union. You can't do that. You can't be associated with groups like that. You just can't do that at all. I will say this about Kyrie, though. I'm impressed that he actually followed through and did what the team wanted him to do. I thought he would be defiant and be like, yeah, no. Like, I honestly did. I didn't think he would do it, but he actually did it. So I'm like, oh. So I guess, whatever that conversation he had with the commissioner, Adam Silver, was obviously a very, very productive meeting.
Yeah.
Because he was able to get across to him just how detrimental what he did was.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully it seemed to change his stance and his attitude. And I don't know. I hope we just don't hear anything more, but I'm not holding my breath. It just seems year after year after year, he's coming up with some unbelievable thing that's just, causing some controversy and making people upset with him. And I was shocked that Jaylen Brown decided to jump in on this too. And I'm sure we're going to hear something in the coming days. One good thing has come out of Brooklyn. Not very much has come out of Brooklyn in the last little while, but Yuta Watanabe, former Raptor, is now a Brooklyn Net and really becoming a fan favorite. He was given some standing ovations over the weekend. He had some really great shooting nights. He scored 20 points, 5 3-pointers on Sunday, and he contributed to a big win over Memphis, scoring 16 points on 6 for 9 shooting, 4 from 6 from outside the arc, and he's shooting 57% from downtown. Great to see that he's become such a fan favorite and is shooting the lights out for them. They needed an outside shooting presence, and he's given it to them for sure.
Oh yeah. It's great to see that he's finding success with the Nets, and that he's just flourishing within the system. Even though, let's be honest, the organization at this point in time is slightly dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And so, but he's still managing to find his way, which is awesome.
Yeah. Ben Simmons goes back with the Nets to Philly tomorrow. Expect a lot of boos there. This is a guy that just basically quit on the Sixers, and Philly fans are can be pretty ruthless, pretty brutal, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the reception that he gets.
Ruthless, vicious, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff edited out because you can't say that on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a weird night for him, that's for sure. The Lakers are still struggling. 5-10 on the season, but Anthony Davis is actually rounding into form finally. He had 30 points and 18 rebounds yesterday in their victory in only 28 minutes. They got a win over San Antonio yesterday. And on Friday, he had 38 points, 16 boards in their win over the Pistons. LeBron missed his 4th straight game with a abductor injury. But yeah, AD is finally looking healthy and contributing big time.
All he needs to do is just keep doing that. Just keep showing up and being like the AD that we all remember him to be, especially when they went on their championship run. If he can do that, if he can just play at that high level, which should be expected for a player of his caliber, then you're going to be fine and nobody's going to say anything about it.
Yeah. No, I think that's all he needs to do. And hopefully he can stay healthy. Yeah, it's been a struggle, but when he is healthy, man, he sure can contribute and be a force inside. Yeah, the Warriors need that, not from him, but they need to go somewhere and get someone that yeah can help them in the interior, because yeah, the season, you wouldn't want to waste a season with a healthy Clay, Steph. You got Poole, you got Wiggins, you got Draymond. You know, this team should be competing for another championship. They just need one piece.
Yeah, no, they should be competing for a championship. And the one thing that you definitely never want to do is waste prime years of Stephen Curry's. That's something that you just can't do that. That's what the Lakers are doing right now with LeBron James. It's like, don't waste prime years for these guys because they're generational players. There's only one guy like that comes around every 10 years.
Yeah.
So don't waste their time.
For that Philly game tomorrow, Joel Embiid is set to miss the game due to a mid-foot sprain, left foot, and so he will not be there. Players of the week this week in the West: De'Aaron Fox, playing incredible for Sacramento, and Tyrese Halliburton. Man, this guy is on fire right now. Really looking great. And yeah, that's the NBA story for me, unless you have anything else.
No, I do not have anything else. That is awesome. I'm just so happy that there's been just some very cool storylines in the NBA. Number one being the Cleveland Cavs, number two being the unexpected ascension of the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, Utah's still first in the West. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm super impressive. I'm blown away how good they are.
Yeah, I'm blown away at how good they are, and I'm blown away actually at how good the Trailblazers are. That they're playing at such a high level.
Yeah,
and I'm just happy to see that Damian Lillard actually has a great team behind him right now.
Yeah,
Finally.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I was going to mention that Utah beat Portland on Saturday. Malik Beasley had 29, Clarkson had 28, and Lauri Markkanen 23 points and 10 boards. Yeah, Jazz were visiting the Clippers today, but first, absolutely crazy, and Portland sitting in second place in the West. Yeah, big surprises, but nice to see both teams doing so well. This is great. Yeah, it makes it interesting. I really didn't want to see teams just falling completely all the way down to the bottom. It's pretty great to see them playing so well. Yeah, the two surprises in the East that are blowing me away are the Heat and the Bulls, both sitting at 7-10 and 6-10 respectively, in the 11th and 12th place in the Eastern Conference. They're both not supposed to be there.
No, they're both not supposed to be there. They have kind of fallen off a cliff, so to speak. And you know what? There might have to be major changes, like trades that have to be involved for them to change their current trajectory right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Well, this was fun, man. Yeah, you lucky guy. I only have one more day at work this week. Yeah, I'm jealous as hell. Feeling a lot of FOMO. You're gonna get to watch some basketball, some football, and everything else. So yeah, enjoy your Thanksgiving week. Do you think you're gonna have a turkey at all as well?
Ah, sure. I don't know. I'd have to like manifest that. Like I'd have to go unexpectedly to a friend's house that I know is maybe cooking turkey and then eat it. So yeah.
Well, well, I know you can work your magic, manifest itself because turkey dinner is the best of the year. And hey, it's Thanksgiving. We should be eating turkey.
Yeah, we should. Everybody should be eating turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, yeah, enjoy the football games. Keep in touch and yeah, we'll talk through the week. Thanks again for doing this, bud.
Of course, anytime, and definitely we'll keep in touch.
Okay. All right. Cheers. Good night. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Okay, everybody. Hey, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and sticking with it. Appreciate your support as always. We love you lots. Thank you to our partners and sponsors for all your support. And yeah, check out our website, watch the World Cup, watch the football this week. Hope you get a chance to have a really good Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself, and we will see you soon. Love you. Bye for now.